Hey folks, welcome to PlayBranson, the show where you get to know Branson's entertainers better. I'm your host, Chris Meyer, and today's episode is brought to you by iBranson.com. It's the place where you can find the latest Branson show schedules and attraction information. So be sure to go to iBranson.com. Our guests today on the show are the first father and son duo that I've ever had on the show together. That's the Clay Cooper and Colton, and I'm so excited to have Clay back on the show. It's been a long time. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
It's showtime.
Hey folks, welcome back to PlayBranson. On today's show, I think for the first time ever on PlayBranson, I have father and son duo, I guess you call them, Clay and Colton Cooper.
I'm the dad. I'm the son.
I was like, I think this is the first time I've had a father and son at the same time on the show.
Well, here you go. Let's do this thing, man. What do you want to know?
We're going to talk about your new show this year, but before we do that, there's probably some people that are watching that they just don't even know who you are.
Yeah.
Which would be hard to really think about.
Well, I don't know, man. Every night at the show I ask, how many folks have never seen our show? Over 50%?
A lot.
Every night, which I like, because that tells me we're getting a fair amount of repeat customers, but also the marketing is doing a good job at getting new people in. So I like to see, half the crowd raise their hand that they've never seen us, because I know that's going to be a lot more repeat customer down the road.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So tell people about your history and Colton, obviously, how you got into this business as well. So tell people about.
Well, I mean, I'll try to give it to you in a short version. 1986, moved to Branson. I didn't move to Branson. I was with a kids band by the name of Texas Gold Miners, and I was the oldest at 16. The youngest was 8 years old. There were 8 of us in the band, and we were working the stockyards in Fort Worth a lot. Played a lot of little pubs and different places down there. Billy Bob's, Texas. We did all kinds of gigs, Grapevine, Opry, all over. And we had an opportunity to come to Branson in 1986 to audition for a matinee show at the Ozark Country Jubilee. So we all hopped in a van. We left. I remember leaving Texas at noonish or whatever it was. We pulled into Branson off 65 on the 76 and turned left towards the Strip. And I'll never forget seeing all the neon, the old school neon lights and the flashing bulbs. I'm like, man, this place is crazy. I've never seen it. I was 16. And I remember driving down the Strip, and we'd pass the 76 Music Hall, which is Grand Country, and then Foggy River Boys Theater. And then we come down this way, and I can't remember what, it's not even there now, but the Ball Knobbers, and then the Presleys, and the Plummer family, and the Brashlers Theater, and the Lowe's Theater, and the Boxcar Willie Theater, and all these theaters. I'm just like, whoa. So we pulled into the Ozark Country Jubilee that night. It was about 8:30, 9 o'clock. We all got out, went in. The show was going on, the Jubilee show. And I remember all of us kids sat in the back of the theater, and the show was going on. And I remember looking up and seeing all these entertainers, and they were wearing gray tuxedos, purple bow ties, and purple cummerbunds, singing country music. I'm like, where are we? What is this? But I was like also mesmerized. I'm like, this is unbelievable. It was amazing. The band was awesome. They were doing all this old country music. Anyhow, after the show, we met the owners, Maggie and Clifford Campbell. And they said, all right, we want to hear you kids. So as soon as that show ended, we got our instruments out. We auditioned for him. The old man says, I love y'all. Love it. When can you start? We're like, well, I don't know. He said, can you start in 2 days? So we had 2 parents with us that drove us in 2 vans. And we auditioned, got the show together. We rehearsed very quick. So we started 2 days later doing a 4 o'clock show. Well, the season ended at that time in September, Labor Day. It ran Memorial Day, May to September. So we finished out the year. Our parents brought us clothes up. The old man put us in a 6-bedroom house downtown. We all lived together, had a couple of parents that chaperoned us, and our parents would come up on weekends and visit. It was amazing, man. I mean, here we are on our own I was making $400 a week. This was in '86, riding go-karts, singing country music, and chasing girls. It was the life, right? And so in September, when the season ended, we all went back to our respectable homes. We all lived in little different towns around Dallas. Checked back into school, went to our school. When school was out in May, we'd all come back up to Branson, move into this house, and do it again. And that's how it kind of happened until 94. Or 90, I left the band because by that time I was 20. I wasn't a kid, and it was a kids band.
Right.
Went to Eureka Springs, did a year down there. I loved Eureka Springs, but it just wasn't the same. Came back to Branson, went to work for Glenn Robertson at the Grand Country Music Hall, the 76 Music Hall, did 3 years there. And then in 94, a brand new show by the name of Country Night moved to town.
That's right.
I went to watch the show with Wayne Massengale, and I went to watch the show with Melody, Wayne's wife, and her ex-husband. And I remember sitting there watching the show. At an intermission, I'm like, man, I would give anything to work in the show. I'd never seen a country show with 30-something people, and dancers in a country show, kids singers, trick ropers, comedians riding unicycles and juggling saw blades. Well, I mean, I was mesmerized by this show. That was in May of '94. In July, I get a phone call from R.P. Harrell, the band leader there. He said, hey, man, I don't know you, but Wayne Massengale says you're quite the entertainer and a great bass player. Would you be interested in an audition? I'm like, yes. So I go and audition. They hired me as the bass player, got the job, started there in '94 as a bass player. A year later, I'd moved into the MC position, and I was there for about 10 years until I broke off on my own.
And this is why this is important, because that show has influenced your show today.
Oh, that show, if it weren't for the 10 years at Country Tonight, I don't believe I would be where I am now. And the reason I say it is because that show was the show. I mean, we were doing 2 shows a day, 6 days a week, 3,000 seats. We were filming it up every night, and probably 2,000. We were playing to 5,000 to 6,000 people a day, 30,000 people a week. So when I left that show to start my own show, I knew I had a head start, a jump start than anybody else just moving to town with that nobody knew. Because I had 10, that's 300,000 people a year that had seen me for 10 years. I thought,
right.
Some of these people are going to remember me from Country Night. So I had a little head start when I started my morning show. It was rough for a few years. And then 3 years into my own business, we moved down the street and leased that old theater across from Walmart. Stayed there for 2 years. And then in 2010, we bought the theater that we're at now. And you're right. The show that I have now, if you'd ever seen Country Night, there's tons of influence.
There is. Yeah.
From if you watch because our producer at that time, she just knew you never do full. I don't want to give away my secrets, but you don't want to do songs that are too long and you wear them out, right? You want to give them a little bit of the song. So we like to edit our songs down to a minute 52 minutes because you don't want to do a 4.5 minute song and then another 4.5 minute song, because if you're doing a song that maybe ain't that person's cup of tea or that person's cup of tea, it's over in 2 minutes and we're on to something different.
Absolutely. So this year, you are now celebrating 20 years of your own show.
Right.
And so congratulations.
Well, thank you.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And so now you've just grown up in this business.
Yes.
And so when was the first time you were on stage? Do you have any idea?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean, they started sticking me out there at 18 months old. So, I mean, I didn't really have an option.
Now child labor laws are coming at you right now. We paid him. Don't worry.
Yeah. No worries.
No, you can work for your parents for free.
Oh, you owe me $30,000.
But you didn't have to tell them that part. But no, I was out there 18 months old, so I guess this is my 20th season.
Yeah.
If you're really, I mean, I don't really say it because I feel like it's kind of ridiculous to say, but I had been on stage for that long.
This kid, at 18 months old, we stuck him out there with a real fiddle, this size, a small fiddle. He had, when I started working for Paul Harris, when I left country and I went to work for Paul for a couple of years before I started my own thing, Tina was still working at Country Night, my wife. So everywhere I went, he's like my little dog now. Everywhere I went, Colton was in the car seat. I'd just take him everywhere.
Like Reba.
Yeah. So I'd do a show at Paul's. I'd sit him in the car seat about, just 6 feet off the side of the stage so he could see me. And I'd do the show and he'd just be sitting there. And just, you could see his feet wiggling. And so he's been around it since he was born. I mean, every day he was at work. He was hanging out by stage. He's sitting on the stage. So one day we gave him this little fiddle and he came out and he just went crazy and the crowd went nuts. He'd go up to the lip of the stage with that fiddle and start stomping his feet and sawing that fiddle. And the crowd was going crazy. I'm like, They loved it. Still to this day. So when he was about 3 or 4, he started singing. I mean, he was singing Elvis songs, putting on an Elvis suit and the
Elvis wig and the jumpsuit.
And he was done the whole, it was in him. Still to this day, a couple of times a month, people come up, is that older boy of yours the one who used to come out with that little fiddle when he was 2 years old?
Right.
Isn't that crazy?
It's awesome.
I get that all the time.
Yeah.
I remember watching you when you were 2 years old up there on that stage.
Well, but that's the thing is people keep coming back to Branson.
Yeah.
And, I came to Branson in 92, kind of right when you were starting with Country Tonight shortly thereafter. And I remember all those days, but I love how that's like multi-generational.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I tell people you can't go anywhere else and get what I call world-class family entertainment.
That's true.
And we're going to stop right here and we're going to come back more with Clay and Colton Cooper. Hang tight. Have you seen our new PlayBranson magazine? Well, if you're in town and you want to know more about Branson's shows, attractions, golf, the lakes, and more, you need to get the PlayBranson magazine. It's free. It's located all over town in racks, so be sure to pick up a PlayBranson magazine. Going to Branson for some relaxation and fun? You've got to stay with Branson's award-winning hotel family, Meyer Hotels. Meyer Hotels features 4 hotels in Branson with the best locations for your trip. Choose from brands you know and trust, like the Holiday Inn Express on Green Mountain Drive, the Best Western Centerpoint Inn, Comfort Inn at Thousand Hills, and the Comfort Inn and Suites. Enjoy refreshing indoor pools and hot tubs. Do you like free? How about a free hot breakfast each morning? Free vacation planning services, and of course, smiles are always free. Want even more value? Go to MeyerHospitality.com and join our e-club to save 15% off your next stay and check out incredible deals with our vacation packages. Call 1-877-FUN-STAY to book Branson's award-winning hotels or visit MeyerHospitality.com. It's your safe choice for award-winning lodging in Branson. MeyerHospitality.com. Hey folks, welcome back to the show. On today's show, we have Clay and Colton Cooper with Clay Cooper's Country Express. Did I get all that right?
That's right, man.
Yep. And so when I think of Country Express, man, I'm thinking it's like moving, rocking and rolling.
That's right. Here comes the train, baby.
And so you're in a great theater, great location. Tell people about the show. What are they going to get in 2025?
Well, this year, every year we change our show 95%. And I'm not just that's not a number.
It's a real number.
We rehearsed for about 6 weeks hard. And because I know I get a lot of repeat customers, I want them to come back and see something new and fresh. And I believe that's why our repeat customers we have such a large repeat customer base.
And it keeps us enjoying our jobs.
That's right. The cast is not getting burnt out on singing the same songs for 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. Every year it's something new. It's fresh. This year, of course, my son Colton, incredible singer. Not only incredible singer, but showman. I mean, he knows for his age, even when he was like 12 or 13, he got the concept of it's more than just singing a song. It's about entertaining these people. Because the people that come to Branson, they may not know a lot about, was that a C sharp, or what was that on? But you know what they do? They hear with their eyeballs. So if they see people up there that are enjoying themselves and they're having fun, I always like to give an example. You could take the best fiddle player on the entire planet. I mean, schooled, went to every Mozart, and then you take this person that's been playing fiddle for 2 years, that self-taught themselves. If this person that's been playing 2 years is doing this, and this person that's schooled is going, who are you going to like best?
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Especially the audience.
And he gets that concept from an early age, man. He pops out and he's singing, he's moving, he's dancing, he smiles, he can talk to the people. He's just like me. He doesn't meet a stranger. And he literally gets the whole entertainment thing. It's incredible. We have a full band this year. I've added Dean Church playing fiddle. Long time.
Hey,
Branson.
that's exciting. He's awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm glad. I just heard this.
Yeah.
This is great.
I've known him since I was 16 years old.
And a great fit to the cast,
He's
too.
great.
He just fits
Backstage.
right in there, perfect mold to the cast. So
Hired a horn section. I've got 3 horn players. I've got a full horn section this year. Of course, the R.P. Harrell on piano, who was my boss back in the country in that days.
Now you're his boss.
Now I'm his boss, and
He loves it.
I am returning the favor. And then we have Grant Moody on guitar. You show me somebody better, and I'll wash your car for a month. It ain't happening. We have Catfish Evans on bass. We have Jonathan Black on second keys and saxophone. The band is incredible. We have 11 or 12 dancers. I'm not sure.
yeah,
My wife Tina.
Robbie on drums too.
Robbie Blackwood on drums, incredible. My wife Tina choreographs the show, teaches all the dances. She dances in the dances. She's a featured singer as well, great vocalist, GM of the theater, box office manager, concessions manager. She does it all. We have Carrie Garrison,
Yep, Alan Asbury.
Alan Asbury,
Amazing singer.
amazing. I mean, when this guy, he's our gospel guy. That's what I call him. Hey, gospel guy. When he comes out and sings the gospel song, Chris, our first night or second night open,
First night.
he's doing Gratitude, the gospel song Gratitude. I'm telling you, by the end of the first verse, the entire audience was on their feet, hands in the air, singing along. It's been that way every night since we've opened. It's just so touching. Incredible vocalist. David Griffin sings in the show, an incredible vocalist. Carrie Garrison does bluegrass, traditional country. Emily Hanner's in the show this year singing with us. Colton's girlfriend, Keaton Biddle, sings and dances.
She was on the show. She was on last year.
Great talent.
It's just a very different. I mean, we obviously lost Matt Gum this year, and just the way that we're utilizing our entire cast.
Yeah.
I mean, all the boys are singing in the show this year. All of our male dancers. We got Emily and Keaton as singer dancers in the show. So it's a very it's different every year, but this year it's just so unique from other years.
It is, yeah. With Matt, Matt took up. He did a lot in the show and this and this and that. So with him leaving, I hate that he's gone. He was with me 19 years, but it gives an opportunity to show off the talents of all the other people that didn't really get to shine a lot, because now we have that extra time to fill. And I'm telling you what, man, I say it every year. This is our best show ever. This is our best show ever.
Yeah.
It just is.
And so it's one of the biggest shows really in Branson from a number of people really out on stage.
I mean, next to Dixie Stampede and Sight and Sound, which I don't even think they're in the same, that's a whole different thing. As far as music shows and productions and show, it is the largest cast and biggest production of any show in Branson.
And one of the things, Clay, that you do, and I've seen it so many times, is you interact so well with the audience, and like every night it's just something new and different, and it's crazy and it's funny. Yeah, it's funny. And so I think if you go to the show, number one, you're gonna laugh, but you're gonna have a good time, and that's really what you guys are all trying to do, is make sure people have a good time.
You know, my logo, this is a little slogan that happened by mistake a few years ago. I was being interviewed by somebody out of Springfield, and they're like, what is it about your show that you think keeps people connected during the show? What is it that they like about the way you work? I said, we're just real people having a real good time. I'm like, oh, that was good.
Yeah.
I got it on my brochure now. We're just real people having a real good time.
Now, this is a true story, and I tell people about this, is I was at your show, and you had recognized me from the stage, just said, hey, my friend Chris is out there. During intermission, there's this guy that comes up to me, and he's like, I stayed at your parents' hotel back in the 70s and 80s in Harrison, Arkansas. And he goes, I watch this show, and it helps me to determine where I go see shows.
Yeah.
And I was like, how did you even remember that like this Harrison thing where I grew up, and he's like, well, you mentioned it one time on the show. And I was like, it was just a really cool moment at your theater that guy said that to me. And
Incredible.
People are paying attention at all times. That's why, they're always watching, they're always listening, and got to be ready.
Okay, tell people where your theater's at, and then let's try and tell the schedule, even though I know it changes.
Yeah. We're at the Clay Cooper Theater, soon to be. The good news is our logo is CC, so that's one, and he's Colt Cooper. My other boy's Caden Cooper, which, by the way, he sings in the show and has for incredible traditional country music.
And he's tall.
He's 6'3", 16 years old, and sings old country. It'll blow your mind. So you got the poppy, high kind of voice that's doing this, and then you got my boy singing country music, But it's so cool. They're so different, but they're so talented in both ways. We're at the Clay Cooper Theater, right across from the Titanic Museum. On
so wait, and you're also across from the Best Western Center Point Inn,
which is a great hotel, and Heroes. It's all right there.
It's all right there. So literally, people can go stay there. They can eat there. They can go to shows there. They can do everything.
Amusement parks. It's all right there. Yeah, that is a nice property.
And okay, moving on. Time. What times do you go?
Well, you can go to claycooper.com. The schedule kind of fluctuates, but through the spring and the summer, we're pretty much Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday nights at 7:30. So right now we're doing, I think we're still doing 3 a week right now. Starting in May, we'll add a morning show. So we're 4 days a week, May, June, July, and then August is kind of light. And then in the fall,
you go all over.
It's crazy. We have some night shows. We have a matinee, a couple of morning shows. So we're giving everybody an opportunity to come see us. If there's a time that don't work for you, wait till the next day. We'll be at a different time.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's great. We have so many great shows at the theater besides ours.
Well, let's talk about Hot Rods, because that's one of your other shows, and you're in there.
That's our 1950s based show, and I think this is its 10th season maybe, and each year it gets stronger and stronger. The cast this year is so much fun, and it's a very young cast, and I know it's kind of an adjustment to see new faces in town for these return customers, but I think that's what's going to keep this town going is people my age starting to join these casts and make a name for themselves here in this town. And this year we have 8 incredible singer-dancers. It's just such a high energy show, 4 boys, 4 girls, 5-piece live band backing us up. And I tell you, I put in about 5 miles a show doing that one. Just so much dancing, singing, costume changes. And I think the cool thing about that show too is that there's not really a headliner for the show. So everyone has an equal investment in it, and everyone owns it as their own. And I think that's what people love to see, that we all love what we're doing up there together in that cast.
Would you consider that show a rock and roll show?
I would, but I think it has so much more than just rock and roll. We touch on the 50s classic rock and roll. We do some Rat Pack stuff. So we do a Perry Como segment where we reenact Perry Como's show and do Sammy Davis Jr., the Cordettes, Bobby Darin, Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin. So we have the jazzy Rat Pack stuff. We're creating a whole new show this year, or not whole new show, but it seems like Mom's adding some new stuff to the show this year.
It's not all Chubby Checker and fat stuff. Which I love that stuff. It is a wide variety of 50s music.
Absolutely.
This year, maybe, so maybe in some 50s country, a little 50s country segment in there as well, too. But we'll see. We're doing some different things.
There's something always happening at your theater, because besides these 2 shows, you've got #1 hits of the 60s, you've got the Hey Goods, you've got Dean Z, and then you've got some special things happening as well. Yeah. You want to talk about that briefly?
Sure. Terry Bradshaw, he's got about 11 dates booked this year. Terry's an incredible, of course, everybody knows him from Fox Sunday Football, reality TV, the movies, television, 4-time Super Bowl champion, Pro Football Hall of Fame. And people's like, what does he do? I'm like, well, he entertains. Yeah. He sings, he has a band, he talks about the TV, he talks about the Super Bowls, he talks about the Immaculate Reception with Franco Harris. He talks about all that stuff, shows some cool clips. Great guy. He's been with us about 5 years. Never in a million years would I think I'd end up being really tight friends with Terry Bradshaw, because I grew up a Dallas Cowboy fan and I hated the Pittsburgh Steelers. But you know what he says? I love the Dallas Cowboys. There's somebody I like beating better than the Dallas Cowboys. So Terry Bradshaw, 11 dates. Randy Travis and the More Life Tour is at our theater coming up pretty soon, May 11th, Mother's Day. And then again in September 21st. We have a Sleep at the Wheel, the all-time great Western Swing Band, returning again this year in mid to late November. And still some more stuff on the books. We're talking to some other actors.
The other thing I saw was the Malpass.
The Malpass brothers.
Yes.
Have you seen them?
I have not, but they're
Hilarious.
going to kind of have several dates with other entertainers as well.
I'm glad you mentioned that. The Malpass brothers have their own television show on RFD TV. They film in the stockyards of Fort Worth. So they're coming in for 5. These guys are hillbilly country singers and funny. I call them the Hillbilly Smothers brothers because that's what it reminds me of. So they're coming in for 5 straight nights. It's the Malpass brothers and friends. One night we have the Isaacs, the all-time gospel bluegrass group, the Isaacs. We have Rhonda Vincent. We have Mo Bandy one night, special guest. Mary Lou Turner, Barbara Fairchild, and Tony Booth on another night. And somebody I'm forgetting. But yeah, it's all on the website.
Yeah, I just saw that the other day, and I was like, man, it kind of reminded me of Larry's Country Diner.
It's exactly...
It's that format for sure.
When Larry retired, because Larry had been at our theater for many years, I called the brothers and I said, hey, why don't y'all kind of, let's do the same type format, the Malpass brothers and friends. You guys host it, bring in the guests. He's like, let me talk to my brother about it and this and that. Anyhow, it's filling up nicely. So it's going to be a fun week.
Mm-hmm. Well, here's the deal. We have actually gone over time today, but that's okay because we can do that.
Yeah.
And so much going on at your theater. Clay, you and your whole family have done a great job providing great entertainment. Of course, you're an alderman as well. We're not going to talk politics today, but you're serving our community in more than one way.
I'm going into my 3rd term. I just got into my 3rd term, so I've been in office 4 years.
Okay, folks, be sure to go see the Clay Cooper Country Express. Country Express?
Country Express.
Country Express. Go check it out. You guys are going to have a great time. I guarantee it. If you call me up and say you didn't have a great time, we'll just call Clay.
Yeah.
There you go.
Call me.
Anyway, folks, we'll be back in just a second to wrap the show up. We often provide tips on how to make your Branson vacation better. So have you guys seen the Flavor of Branson magazine? Now, if you're in town and you want to know more about Branson's restaurants, this is the most complete guide for dining. And guess what? It's free. It's located all over town in racks, and it will help save you money. Stretch those vacation dollars even further. There are about 20 coupons in the back. It lists all the restaurants and categories. And so check this out. Be sure to check it out in the lobby of your hotel.
There are so many things to do in Branson. You need help planning and booking all your fun. You need iBranson.com. You can find everything Branson has to offer from your computer, tablet, or cell phone. You can even buy tickets online or talk to one of their friendly Branson travel specialists. There's no sales pitches, no delivery fees, no service fees, and no waiting. It's fast and easy. Find your fun at iBranson.com. Do it all online or call 877-ENTERTAIN. That's 877-368-3782. iBranson.com.
Hey folks, welcome back to the show where we've been talking to Clay and Colton Cooper with Clay Cooper's Country Express. I tell you what, you want to go see that show. It's a great show, and you can see it at the Clay Cooper Theater right out there on West 76 Country Boulevard, right in the smack dab middle of the entertainment. Now, if you need help planning your Branson vacation, be sure to go to iBranson.com, or you can call them at 1-877-ENTERTAIN. They've been helping guests in Branson for over 30 years to help plan your vacation, so check them out. Now, if you're looking for Play Branson episodes and you want to know who's been on the show, you can check us out on Facebook or YouTube. We've got a channel on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe. You can also find our episodes on PlayBranson.com or thevacationchannel.com. However you want to watch us, we're going to be there for you. Now, here's what we always say. Go see some live entertainment this week. Support our local musicians and enjoy the music. That's it for today, and we'll see you on next time here on Play Branson.